Okay, so today we're going to start a new unit, which is a mobile application development. So in this unit, we're going to cover pretty much um, 5 learning outcomes. So in our first tutorial, we're going to understand the purpose of mobile applications. Following that, we're going to be able to plan a mobile application development. And then we going to be able, on the third one, we're going to be able to develop a mobile application. And also we're going to look into be able to test our app, and conclusively we're going to launch. So we're going to pretty much are going to have the same structure of our previous units, which were computer programming and web development. So as we can see, today we're going to investigate a couple of reasons of why we should develop an app for our business or any type of purpose. We're going to look into the common features, and also we're going to we're going to look into the platforms that are used for Android and Apple devices. So at the end of the tutorial, the learner should understand the difference between native, web, and hybrid application approaches, and why a specific option will be used. And also the learner should be shown an example of this approach by application development to aid understanding. Learners should also be aware of the limitation between these approaches. So as we can see now, we're going to look into the aim. So this unit aims to provide an overview of basic of mobile application development. Learners will gain knowledge and understanding of how to plan, develop, test, and launch a mobile app. So for today's indicative content, I've already mentioned them. And some key terminology that we're going to we need to consider is how to getting started when we're building mobile applications. We're going to look into Android, how we build Android application. So how we're going to set up the environment with Android Studio, which is the IDE used for Android developers. We're going to look into creating a user interface. And also, as we mentioned before, we're going to look into the programming language which is used for Android applications. And the programming languages are Kotlin and Java. Also, we're going to use for iOS mobile application, which they have. We're going to see how to set up the environment, the IDE, which is being made by Apple itself, and the programming language, which is also made by Apple, and which is called Swift. So now we're going to look into a quick video which will give us an introduction of mobile applications.
This? You're a Ever wonder what it takes to bring a mobile app to life? In this video, we'll explain the process our customers go through when they hire us to build their mobile app and take.
Can you hear the audio of the video?
Yeah, I do. I can hear it.
Andrea?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear the audio of the video?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Take it to market. The first step is that flash of insight, the idea. Once a client has an idea, we recommend they compile details by answering some of the following questions. What platform should this be on? iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Windows Phone? Will it be static, or will it have new content added on a regular basis? What features will it use? The camera, GPS, accelerometer, or other hardware? Will it link to Twitter, Facebook, and other social media assets? Does it require 3D animations or connections to back-end databases? One of the most important questions to ask is, what is the budget? As you might suspect, the more complex an app is, the more it will cost to build. But apps offering more functionality also have the potential to offer higher returns. In 2011, we built apps for as much as $1 million and as little as $5,000. It's important to have realistic budget goals when heading into product development. When a new client reaches out to us, we introduce them to an account manager. The first step after initial contact is to exchange a non-disclosure agreement, which protects the client's idea. We understand how important intellectual property is. A formal estimate is then put together and presented to the client, who can either accept the costs or make adjustments to the functionality in order to better fit the budget they had in mind. Upon reaching an agreement, everything gets spelled out in a detailed statement of work. The costs for each portion of development are laid out so a client can see where resources are being allocated. The actual programming is assigned to expert coders in the client's choice of operating systems. Our project managers and account managers keep in touch with the clients and give them updates at certain milestones like UI design and initial builds. When the app is complete, the project managers work with the client to submit the app to the appropriate app stores. And once it's live, if the client would like our help marketing the app, we're glad to step in there too. We can create demo videos for the applications or press releases to announce the launch. That's one of the things that sets us apart. We're one stop for all your digital needs. We can be there with you throughout the entire development and marketing process. Since we're developers for hire, the client owns all the rights to any app we build. If it's a paid app, supported by ads, or there are in-app purchases, all that profit goes to the client. If you have an idea for the next big app, contact us by giving us a call at 603-881-9200 to speak with one of our mobile experts.
So this video just give a understanding of how mobile development companies get their businesses from clients. So as you can see, these mobile app companies have follows pretty much the system development life cycle, which will be used for every sector of any sector of IT, no matter if it's like software development, web development, or any other type of company. All these developers do follow this system development life cycle, where we have, as mentioned, they have the project manager, which will take the business and constantly update the client with all the related information that you need to know, and which will be provided by the developers as well. And they always have to, developers has the key rule of understanding what is going to be the most suitable product for the client, and also, as said, is will be depending on the budget. So by having all this information, then now it will be easier for the developers to develop, perform a mobile application. And now we're going to look into the features that has to be taken in considerations. So as we can see, simplicity has to be related to not just the budget, but also the nature of the business. So depending if it's like an app related to education, maybe might be an app for kids to launch on the tablet for conducting the assignments or doing some studies, which will be required to keep the application as simple as possible. And also, it could become even more complex. And all this is depending on the nature of the business. Also, a really important feature must be the speed. So the faster it is the app, the better you will be performing tasks. So we'll definitely consider speed one of the most important features. Also, we're going to look into uh, image solution and layout. So the 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 way the app will be represented will definitely have to have a good user interface where the image solution is good enough for our client to use the app efficiently and provide useful feedback to improve on the user experience. And also we have to take consideration of security, where security risk for all these platforms might intercept sensitive information which are traveling over the network. So therefore, for us, it's really important to provide the appropriate security features for our application in order to keep our data protected from any type of suspicious or malicious attack. And also, our application must contain a good research options. So comes into the functionality of our app, which allows us to run or execute different um, ability. So we definitely have to have the ability to search either the app or the internet, which is very important, I think, and is also essential for the business, where an app by having more ability can bring into more business uh, to the might bring more revenue to the business. Also related to image and solution, we could include bright and bold color scheme. So these are all characteristics that has to go under our layout, and we need to know that our layout has to be as much as efficient as possible. I just wanted to add some some information which can be found from our unit specification, where we need to all this information um, has to give a reason, has to provide a reason. So the reason of this has to be related also on the nature of the business of the business of why we decided to create this app. So depending on the nature, this app could be for simply for lifestyle benefits, or maybe could be a fitness application, or for example, apps such as Tesco mobile app, where we can store information of our membership and gain points or rewards, or other nature could be e-banking. So nowadays, people around the world, everyone has a mobile banking application. So uh, we definitely need to understand the needs of including this uh, information to the application. Now we're going to explain what could be the reason for developing a mobile app. So as we mentioned, these businesses, the possible reason for us for improving visible to customer at all the times, build brand and recognition, improve our customer engagement, and also stand out from the competition. So if we're going to look into each of them, these reasons, as I mentioned before, we had got several other reasons I mentioned, which were e-banking, store membership, or for instance, fitness app. All this app has must have a purpose, and some of them, as we can see, is pretty much related to, are pretty much connected to these reasons as well. Where, for example, if we're going to look into creative direct marketing, by having a good application with a good marketing, it could improve the turnover of the business, and can also improve the brand awareness and reputation, where people, by using this app, they will have a good reputation and grow as a business and bring into more customers. Now we're going to look into identify problems which mobile application could solve. So working in an organization which deal with mobile application, we can now look into some of the advantages, where we can have a systematic data management and processing. So where mobile application can bring immense help in managing the data. So the best way could include small businesses into the market, and also they can now receive and send information from any place around the world. It can improve customer relationship, where now through this app, customers can quickly purchase or enjoy the benefits of using application rather than logging in from a web application, a web browser, and is also effective in marketing and new products. Other benefits are related also on the flexibility and efficient remote working, where all these data, so when working in an organization, all the data can now be accessed through mobile applications. And also it is highly effective for the supply chain management, where we know in the supply chain the goods goes through different entities, and now with mobile application it will be easier to track and process goods within the supply chain. Now when it comes to identify the platforms that are going to be used to develop applications. So as mentioned before, for Android applications, the platform used is Android Studio. Android emulator, which we'll look into later on. So by simply following this link, we can now download Android Studio, which I would recommend to do. So you just need to accept and download the software. And as we can see, Android Studio is used for developers, but we do have also the option of codeless platforms. And these platforms allows people with not much knowledge of coding to develop applications and also launch on the App Store or Play Store. So these applications are, let me quickly find one of them, which is available. Everything is available on our Moodle site. So we have this is for example, is introducing Swift user interface. So this Swift is, as I said, is the programming language used by Apple to develop applications. So what we need to know is that Apple has their own, they pretty much don't collaborate with anyone. They have their own programming language and their own IDE, which is called Swift. And to develop on Android, on Windows is be suitable to have at least a Mac or iMac. Well, when it comes to developing with Android, we then need to look into Android Studio, which I've been downloading on my machine. So these are useful website for students to look into it and have a better understanding of how to develop with Android Studio. As I was mentioning, for codeless platforms, we have this one here, which is called Buildfire, which I will now try to log in. It's asking for login details, which I do not have an account at the moment. Let me just make this mobile app cycle. Okay, now I've downloaded Android Studio on my machine. Going to set up. So we do have a couple of resources for building apps on Android. Oh yes, just a different way. So Android Studio we will look into in the following tutorials, where we're going to set up an environment and try to build our first mobile application. So at the moment, I'm not able to install on my machine Android Studio. I will figure this out before the next tutorial. So what we need to know about, let me just look into more. For the next tutorial, I will definitely have an environment set up where we can look into it in more detail. So as I was mentioning here, we can have codeless or low code mobile application where you're not required to have good knowledge or coding skills to run these applications. And then there are code-centric developer tools, which are tools that enable us to modify and work on a mobile application architecture. Also, there are micro mobile application development platforms patterns, where portability is one of the first foremost element in every mobile application development. And also we have mesh app and service architecture. So by this mesh app, mobile application development platforms featuring it will be able to support serverless API mediation, microservices, and event-driven requirements for an app. So, as given an example, Uber app uses these features to offer user a variety of options, including Uber and travels or driver. So as we can see, Uber as a company has different app, and they all features this mesh app and serverless architecture, where all of the APIs are built in different websites, but they can communicate with each other. Now, we're going to understand what is the difference between native web and hybrid application. So by native, the native mobile application is the kind of an app in which it is created and developed for a specific type of device platform, such as Android or iOS, which is also using a specialized coding language. To build a native application, the coding language that is chosen by developers must be given access by the device platform. So these typically application features for this category could be offline mobile games, dictionary apps, and etc. So by native is simply the ability to run for that specific platform, and for example, could be run just for Android, or could be run just for iOS devices. While for hybrid application, by hybrid application app, it just combines the advantages of mobile, web, and the native app, where, for example, companies, so if, for example, we're looking at companies such as booking.com, where you can make a booking from the web browser, and then you have the ability to make that booking also from your mobile application. So by hybrid is simply the combination of web app with mobile application. Now we're going to explain how mobile application enhance customer experience. So by enhancing customer experience, this will have four major advantages. And these advantages is simply going to let our customer serve themselves. Mobile app can even reduce customer service questions, building a great brand through customer service, and keep tabs on the customer service with the mobile app. Also, now we're going to look at what are the impact of developing a business application for only one platform. So by doing this, is going to limit the business, and we will affect also financially, where business software applications come with the capability of automating several processes which are otherwise complex at the time of consuming when it has to be done manually. So by just building it for a specific app with a native application, we're going to reduce the proficiency, but at the same time, we're going to increase the security due to the fact that our data will not be moving across different platforms. So this is everything for today's session. In the next tutorial, we're going to plan our mobile application. We're going to look into what are the user requirements, technical requirements, our user interface, wireframe, and when we're going to look into prototypes, which should allow our navigation of the application based on the user interface.